Megachurch pastor, abortion is consistent with Christianity. I will fight to keep it legal. All right. A pastor of Georgia megachurch who is also running for U.S. Senate said last week he believes legalized abortion is consistent with Christianity and he would fight to ensure it remains legal. Raphael Warnock, senior pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta and a Democratic candidate trying to unseat Republican U.S. Senator Kelly Loeffler in November's election, made the comments to WGAU's Tim Bryant. Bryant asked Warnock how the pro-choice views of the Democratic Party square with his role as a minister, a leader of a church, a man of God. I believe that health care is a human right, said Warnock, who has served as a senior pastor of the church since 2005. I believe that it is something that the richest nation in the world provides for its citizens. For me, reproductive justice is consistent with my commitment to that. I believe unequivocally in a woman's right to choose, and that the decision is something that we don't want government engaged in. That's between her and her doctor and her minister. And I will fight for the United States Senate. I'll fight for that in the United States Senate, and at the same time continue to fight so women can receive the kind of services that they need in order to have healthy pregnancy and healthy babies. How are you fighting for them to have healthy pregnancies and healthy babies if you want to kill the baby before it's born? Or in some states, have the baby born and leave it to cry and die. We have a maternal death rate in this country that is exceedingly high, particularly to the richest country in the world. References his career as a minister and in public service, Warnock added, I've been focused on women's health, women's choice, and reproductive justice. That is consistent with my view as a Christian minister, and I will fight for it. How? How is that? How? Killing a baby is murder. Not to mention the black community. The millions of babies born is basically a black genocide, has been going on since Roe versus Wade. Since the 1970s, billions of black babies have been killed. You're just helping white supremacy. This is why I say, with, these Christians voting for Democrat, why are you voting Democrat? Therefore, the extinction of black people. Why do you vote Democrat? Why do you always vote, especially black Christians, why do you vote against your own interests? I don't get it. Bryant then asks, do you think it's consistent with God's view? The God endorses the millions of abortions we've had in this country since Roe versus Wade. Warnock responded, I think that human agency and freedom is consistent with my view as a minister. Ebenezer Baptist Church has more than 6,000 members and is affiliated with the Progressive National Baptist Convention. Planned Parenthood endorsed Warnock in May. Last week, television commentator and former NFL coach Tony Dugney referenced the interview after Bryant tweeted he had spoken with a minister who believes abortion is health care and reproductive justice, and God is cool with it. Wow. It isn't clear if Dugney knew Warnock was a pastor Bryant had interviewed. Dugney tweeted, when you say a minister, does that mean that you represent a church? I'd like to know what book the candidate uses as their foundation for truth and their guiding principles. It couldn't be the Bible. Dugney later tweeted, any more familiar with Psalm 139 would be against abortion. My thing is just like, I don't know if people know it yet, but Margaret Sanger used to get black ministers to convince, black women to get examined by Margaret Sanger, and she would make them sterile. I believe it's the same way it is today. Planned Parenthood gets a nice, good sellout minister. Okay, like Mr. Warnock right here. Okay, to sell out the black community and to commit further genocide. That's what I see. This is just something that is utterly disgusting. The black community has suffered so much under democratic policies. So much. And further, it goes into extinction, not only by the hands of liberals and regressives, but even pastors who join the fold. It just proves that you can't trust these politicians. They'll do anything for selfish ambition. And they don't care how many black babies die in the process. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think Pastor Warnock is just another, is a sellout? Do you think that he is encouraging black genocide? Let me know in the comments.